Hello, and welcome to the Hey Boomer Show. My name is Wendy Green, and I am your host for Hey Boomer. At Hey Boomer, we are changing the conversation about retirement. Rather than seeing it as an ending, we see it as the opening of an exciting, new, and vibrant chapter, a time for exploration, self-expression, and learning. Excuse me. Coming of age during the women's movement, we wanted to be admired for our intelligence, not our looks. And yet I, like Gloria Steinem, always wanted to look good, even in ratty bell-bottom jeans and loose shirts. And then we went through a period of feeling like we had to be better than our male counterparts in order to succeed in business. And so we switched to business suits and pantyhose. Does anybody remember those? But now we're redefining our looks again. Many people chose to let their hair go naturally gray during the pandemic. I was suddenly experiencing, all I can feel like I was experiencing was sort of an imposter syndrome, as I was going live on Hey Boomer and my hair was not turning gray. And I'm sorry, please don't hate me for that, but my hair is not turning gray. But we're also sensitive to comments about our looks. Like when we hear comments about, oh, you look great for your age, or we hear people in the press talking about the political women's hairstyles, but they never comment on how the men look. So I don't know about you, but I do like to look my best. Not for anyone else particularly, but when I get up in the morning and after my coffee, I like to shower and fix my hair and put on makeup and try to look my best. It just helps me feel better during the day. So why am I talking about this? Well, because my guest, Michela Di Carlo, is the founder and editor of Crunchy Tales. And she's a lifestyle journalist, and she has some thoughts about aging and looking good and feeling good. So this is going to be a good conversation. But before I bring her on, I want to talk to you about Crunchy Tales, the online illustrated magazine for sassy women over 50. I like that, sassy women over 50. The illustrations in each edition are half the fun. That's what attracted me in the first place, to see some of the great graphics that they produce. The articles in Crunchy Tales cover topics about aging and fashion and food, all from the perspective of empowering women and reframing midlife. On a mission to reframe midlife as a time of renaissance rather than winding down, it's packed with helpful tips, clever ideas, and great advice for today's busy women. It's designed to inspire and inform. It's the antidote to ageism and boring cliches, the one-stop destination for modern ladies who don't believe in the midlife crisis and want to get the most out of life. You can easily subscribe to Crunchy Tales and get their How to Age Playfully download by going to crunchytales.com/join-us. So I really encourage you all, do that now, and you will be happy that you did. So now, are you all ready to meet Michela? Hello.
Ciao.
Thank you. Ciao. Right. Thank you for joining us today.
It's a pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for this kind invitation.
Oh, of course. Let me do a quick bio of you, and then we'll get going. So Michela Di Carlo is a seasoned bilingual lifestyle journalist. She speaks Italian and English with a master in communication sciences from the University of Rome. She's a former feature writer for the most influential Italian national newspaper, La Repubblica, a
Mhm.
regular contributor for ANSA, the Italian major news agency, and she's the founder and chief editor of crunchytales.com, focusing her work on inspirational content to empower women feeling stuck in the second act of life. Michela highlights the bright side of growing older, and she's also the creator and producer of the first pro-age live show called The Beauty of Aging. So we called this episode Crunchy Conversations, and your magazine is called Crunchy Tales. Tell us what you mean by crunchy.
That's a good question. Well, uh, I thought that getting older, it's um, it's a lovely experience. Actually, it's a time when we get crunchier rather than softer. And I thought, okay, we are crunchy, not frumpy. You said that after a certain age, we should stay at home baking cakes and potatoes. I thought, well, I met a wonderful women in their prime that actually, change partner, country, jobs, and they are always full of energy. Sometimes even more than young women. And so I thought, okay, crunchy means crispy, crunchy means a sharp noise. So, I mean, let's make a sharp noise. Let's pick up and show to the world that we are not over the hill. That's the main idea. And tales, because, there are stories from midlife women, readers who want to share their journey with us, and there are features, sometimes news, and with the idea of inspiring people. I would say to age playfully. It's not so easy, but aging playfully, it's a state of mind.
Mm.
So I thought that the fact of making a noise, a crunchy, sharp noise, maybe would set the readers, the right mood. And so Crunchy Taste was born. Actually, I have to say that it was born also because of this idea of giving women illustrations and setting them free from these pictures. That usually they want us young, even when we are of a certain age. They retouch, our face before publication. So I thought, no, 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 no. I would prefer to give women a colorful gallery, something they can browse when maybe they are at the hairdresser or on the bus, and be inspired and see what they want to see, and then, yeah, maybe read something and enjoying what we write. That's the whole idea.
So crunchy, not crumpy, and crispy, still have a voice. I love that. So it is about aging, not just aging playfully, but that is a big part of it. And I'm just curious, Michaela, how do you feel about aging?
I have to say that it's true. There are some morning when you wake up and you look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Oh my God." But I'm not really into this idea of, oh, it should look better. I should, maybe think about going to the doctor, to aesthetic doctor, and improve
Mm,
my skin or my. Not really. I do think that it's important to look good, but for yourself, you know. So I mean, I think that aging is part of life. So we shouldn't disguise, the fact that we are getting older, but rather embrace the stage of life and showing to ourselves first and to others that it's cool to be over 50. It's so cool because unfortunately, when people don't know you. They just have this idea, oh my gosh, I just talk over the phone to a woman over 50. So they have this idea, that someone grumpy and also frumpy, grumpy and frumpy. Maybe, they have this idea of someone who doesn't look after herself. There are prejudice, but
Mhm.
today, midlife women rock. I mean, we like, we like put on makeup because we like to look good, but for ourselves,
For
because we know that
ourselves.
maybe that red lipstick can enhance our complexion, or maybe because a red jacket, a red blazer can. I don't know, can improve your mood, make you bit more confident, all these little things.
I
But
think you are spot on with that. I know that for myself, if I don't get up and get dressed and I put on my makeup every day,
hmm,
it's just part of feeling good for myself. I
yes.
feel more energized.
Plus, I'll tell you
Yeah.
something, Wendy. You know, why do I love aging? Because I feel more confident. I am more confident. I am a different woman from the
Mhm.
one I used to know, and probably because of the setbacks, probably because of some frustration, some problems I overcome, and also because I know that I have more experience.
Mhm.
So yes, I do like aging because I feel stronger. Of course, you have to look after your health too, and maybe I actually I feel um in such a great form. Uh, Probably I feel better than ever. It's strange, but because this is the time when you have time to look after yourself, and even if you don't have time, you want to find your time for self-care because you know that it's so important for your well-being. And so,
Yeah.
I'm not those crazy one, so into fitness, and but I like going to the gym. I like, put some cream on my face, and
Mhm.
um, and as an Italian, because excuse my exotic accent, I'm Italian. We are into style. We love looking good. For us, it's very important. I'm sorry, but it's very important.
That's important. And I think you made some other good points about being stronger and more confident and resilient because of what we've been through and overcome and learned in this life. But I'm curious that, you were a very successful journalist and then you went out on your own and decided to start Crunchy Tales. That was a very bold move. Can you tell me how that came about?
Well, after more than 20 years of experience um, as a journalist, um, I was in need of a change. And I thought it was about time to set up something that was more, I don't know, something that could give a legacy, or at least something that could help others, not just writing about what happened in the world. Maybe, I don't know, I thought maybe it's time to set up something that I could call mine. Do you understand what I mean? And also, I was in that phase of life when, yeah, you achieve a lot, but in the same times you are still unsettled. Then you are at that age I was 45, and then there are less opportunities because you are over 40. And so I thought,
Mhm.
my god, no, I mean, I think this is the time. So first I decided at the age of 45 to move to another country. Working and living in the UK, I realized that there are more opportunities, more chances to become who you should be. I mean, because probably there are more policies um,
Mhm.
compared to Italy, and so probably, yeah. I mean, you might find your voice and share it with other people, other midlife women. So after I work as a content producer for a big company. They were looking for a journalist who was able to write and speak both in Italian and in English. But after a while, I thought, no, 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 no. I feel that I'm ready to embark in this new journey. And in the UK and in the US, I mean, this big movement, this big midlife, modern midlife movement was, coming up. And so I thought, maybe, yeah, maybe this is the main thing. And so I thought, okay, let's set up this
Step
website.
out on your own.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was lucky enough to meet very good graphic and illustrators that helped me out. But it wasn't always, unicorns and lollipops, because I had to go back to study. What do I mean? I mean, okay, I have a master degree in communication, and I'm a journalist. I got, my diploma in journalism. I studied at the City University in UK. But I realized that writing a good piece is a thing, but writing a good thing for Google and then having chances to be indexed, uh,
Mm,
something totally different. There is a
right.
different way of writing. So I have to study, to go back to school, or at least, it was very important for me to learn something more about searchability, something more about the web. And
Mhm.
that was good, because as long as you keep studying, you keep evolving. And but yeah, I had to face the setbacks, because sometimes you don't find the right people who believe in your visionary project, especially at the beginning. Or,
Right.
for instance, sometimes you don't have enough funds to keep going on. At the beginning, we thanks God, we launched a crowdfunding campaign that was
Did you?
quite
Okay.
very, I would say, very successful, because in the end, they feature us amongst the project, the most interesting project. So we had a kind of window special for us, and so, and we succeed. But even launching and following a crowdfunding campaign means spending time and efforts. It's not just okay, let's write a few things,
Right.
and so
Right.
it was an exhausting journey. At the beginning, we I don't know. I didn't know why. We used to write excellent article, and we had an excellent illustrator, but still, the first year was difficult to grow in terms of traffic. And then I realized why, because we didn't have, let's say, a very good editor, no, sorry, web editor. I mean, the one who works at the back, when I mean, what I mean for web editor, the one who should look after HTML and all these technicalities.
Right,
And
right.
only when we found a good one that help us in improve our coding and all these little things, then the traffic grow.
So, Michela, what year did you start this?
December 2018.
2018. Okay. And
December, so it's
oh,
nearly
2019. Yeah.
2019. Yeah.
Okay. And was it just you or did you have your illustrator then?
No, no, no. I mean, during these years, we had different illustrators. So yes, I have my first illustrator, worked with us for 1 year. Then we had another one, and then now we have a Veronica Nicolai, and she has been with us now for more than 2 years.
Oh, well,
She's
tell her I
brilliant.
love her illustrations.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
Yeah,
But
she's
every
brilliant.
illustrator had an idea, a different idea of crunchy woman, how a crunchy woman should be. So
Mm.
everyone injects something different in their illustration. The first one was very, very good, but she was more into almost oniric. I don't know if it's the right word. It's like more dreamy
Ah, okay.
illustration, and the other one was more into graphics. But this one, my God, I'm so lucky that I met her. She's so good because she also, I think, had a bit of a glamour, like
Yeah,
and also
yeah.
a bit sassiness. I like this word. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I love her illustration. So how many people do you have on your team now?
Now we have three people work as a staff, and we have a wonderful board of experts. I mean, we have several experts from all around the world, but mostly from the US. And everyone has, of course, a specific expertise, and so they are our asset, I would say. They really help women to thrive in different fields. So we have the fearless fashionista, we have the women's health expert, we have the career coach, we have the beauty expert. And so, I mean, everyone, I think, is happy to contribute for Crunchy Tales, because they realize that this is a project that is meant for other women like us. So it's a
Mhm.
way to, I did it, I maybe succeed in this little, path. I would like you to succeed as well. So maybe if I can show you my way, maybe you can get inspired, and so maybe you can do even better. But the bottom line is that all these experts, me included, we want to show to women that it's not a matter of age, it's a matter of mindset. you know
Mhm,
um,
mhm.
you can still do wonderful things in your life if you really want,
Absolutely.
if you really, yeah, if you really want to.
Yeah, and you got a head start on me. I started mine much later in life, this Hey Boomer
And it's
podcast.
wonderful. Your podcast is absolutely wonderful.
Well,
And
thank you.
congratulations, Wendy, also because it's authentic. I mean, sometimes there are all these interviews regarding big people showing their success. Okay, but this conversation are really authentic. And so
Well,
maybe women
thank you.
can relate to them. I don't know.
Mm. Well, and that, then that takes me to what I wanted to ask you next, because it's about superpowers. So I have had people say to me that, and I think this is true. My superpowers are inspiration and making people feel comfortable, authentic conversations, those kinds of things. So I'm wondering what you see as your superpowers that you bring to this new magazine that you're doing.
So I can tell you about my superpower. My superpower is probably resilience. I'm very stubborn. I'm very stubborn. I don't give up. I don't want to give up. I mean, being a journalist, especially in Italy, you met so many obstacles along the way. They tell you sometimes they're too young, sometimes they're too old, sometimes that you are a girl, you should, listen. There is a lot of chauvinism. And
Mm,
so the time is never right. You're never, the right person at the right place. And but or maybe you're not part of the inner circle, or
mm,
you're not I don't know, they invent all these excuses because they want to make you unconfident. But once you realize that actually, probably, I mean, you are good enough, then you want to keep moving. And only my resilience, the fact that I'm stubborn, helped me to improve in my life, and only because of that. And regarding crunchy taste, I think probably um, because we try, I don't know, we are a drop in the ocean, of course, because we are a niche magazine, but we want to inject a bit of positivity. Our illustration are very colorful and bold, and even
Mhm.
our content, even when our writers cover difficult topics, I always invite them to write the pros and cons and highlight the positive aspect or even of a difficult thing. So we always look for giving some positivity, some energy, and hope.
Well, I think you do that with the magazine. I always smile when it pops into my inbox, because I'm like, oh, look at these pictures. And then you see what the articles are. And, like I said, sometimes they're about fashion, sometimes they're about food, but a
Yes,
lot of times you have contributing stories too from some of my friends in the podcast area or writers, that have written for you. And in fact, you asked me to write one, which was very sweet. So I've got to be
yes,
working on that.
yeah.
But
It's
do
a way
you
to unite all our forces, for a better cause. I mean, that's what I hope. Also because these days there are a lot of opinionists, a lot of people who advertise themselves like the expert. Or so, as a journalist with a strong background into journalism, I'm quite strict. I'm not looking for whatever blog or whatever post. I look something, a bit more, into that particular topic. I want that, our collaborators really at least try to offer to our readers a service.
So, as the editor, do you like have an editorial calendar going out months that this month is going to be on this topic, and then you
Yeah.
do?
Yes,
Ah,
we have a plan. I mean, a schedule and an editorial plan. And well, otherwise it would be very difficult, to keep going on because you have to think ahead, and yes, yes.
okay. So, how do you find some of these other writers, or do they find you?
Well, most of the time they find me. And sometimes they submit an idea, or sometimes they wrote a book, and so our conversation starts, and then, oh well, maybe you can join us and keep writing about this and that. um,
Mhm.
Sometimes I invite experts that I met, and because I think they might add that special touch to Crunchy Tales. I'm so grateful that I met these people, really.
Yeah, yeah. I think gratitude is a big part of what we've learned in this part of our life, in this stage of our life. So tell me, speaking about that, tell me about some of the mentors or influences in your life that have brought you to where you are today.
Hmm. You mean role models or influencers, something that influenced my path? Haha,
Yes.
you would be surprised, but it's something that you probably wouldn't expect it. So,
Okay.
I'll tell you a couple of things. So, um, a month before I started to think about Crunchy Taste, I saw a lovely lady, maybe in her 40s or maybe 50s, who was having a dinner on her own, celebrating I don't know what, because she was drinking champagne and eating oysters.
Okay.
And she was just wearing a t shirt and a pair of jeans. But the restaurant was overcrowded, but I don't know, she had an aura. I don't know, she was so confident and powerful, I mean. And it's just, a frame, that something that hit my mind, and I hold it deep, deep in my heart. And I was keep, the month, week after week, I was keep thinking of her. So I said, that's a crunchy woman. And another thing that inspired me, you might, I mean, I'm mad, I don't know, but the film dedicated to Freddie Mercury. Uh,
Mm.
yeah.
From
And
Queen, right?
yes, the fact
Yeah.
that he struggled a lot in, during the 70s, coming from a different country, being gay in a time where, was quite difficult.
Right.
And also he had problems with his teeth. So, I mean, lots of things that, didn't stop him to keep, trying. And I also, I don't know, I think that also Rocky.
Rocky.
That
So
helps
you,
a lot. So you think, I mean, why? I mean, any woman? No, actually, I mean, that particular woman, a total, stranger, inspired me a lot. I don't know why, but that's strange. And then I'll tell you, once we hit a goal, I'm not telling you which goal, but one
okay.
day I want to
Okay.
go to that restaurant and having dinner all by myself, celebrating with oyster and champagne.
I
She
think you
inspired
should.
me. I mean, she is always in my mind.
I'm looking forward to seeing that article when you do that.
Thank you. So that
Yeah.
means we will get
Oh, for sure you will. For sure you will. So, I love what you're doing. Um, you see yourself as a midlife advocate, and you're doing some kind of TV show now. Is that?
yeah,
Yeah. Tell me about that.
it was last year. We launched the first live program on the radio, and it was a totally dedicated to empowering women in midlife. So the beauty of aging in English, in Italian was il bello dell'età. So it was a live show. So every Saturday morning, I was there, and inviting different people, and interviewing them, and listening great music, great hits from the past. And basically every Saturday we had a different topic. Sometimes we talk about menopause, sometimes we talk about ageism, sometimes we talk about fashion. And it was a great thing, also because it was the first program of its kind, totally dedicated to midlife. And
Hmm.
I have to say it was very, very, very good. So probably, I mean, next year we'll do it again. We're still
So when
working.
you, yeah, so when you put out the magazine, Michela, can you see which articles have attracted the most attention?
Yes. Of course, we have some stats, some data, and so well, one of our most read article is about being single
Being
uh,
single.
at the age of 50, but
Hmm.
not the beauty of being single, so we wrote about why it's normal being single these days. It's the new normal. Why there are many ladies, in their 50s or 60s, who decide to be single, not because maybe they don't have chances to meet new men, uh,
Hmm.
because they appreciate, their time, and because they think that they have probably, more time to dedicate to themselves, to travel, to meet new people. So sometimes actually they are less lonely than what you expect. So this is probably one of the most read. Another article that recently, got a great success, it's very it's about the jewelry, what the jewelry says about you,
Your
and
your jewelry?
yeah, what
Yeah,
jewelry
your
says
jewel.
about you.
Oh, okay.
And another one, it's about ages, and so it's about what we can do to prevent ageism, or at least I would say to fight. And that was very, very, very interesting. And another one is about beauty tips.
Beauty tips.
How to put the makeup. How to, yeah.
I know. And, and that was the thing about all of this that I struggled with the most because, you hear all these talks about ageism and,
Mm.
people are judging us by how we look and that's not fair. And we should, just be judged for our brilliance and our,
Yeah,
experience and all of this. And yet you do focus on, beauty tips.
yeah,
The truth is, Michaela, that all through our lives, I mean, when we were young teenagers and whatever, we were always looking at beauty tips. And so why should that be different now, just because we're
absolutely.
older?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, actually, it's challenging and interesting to find out that maybe you should change the way you apply the eyeliner because maybe your eyes are not, as open as they used to be, or maybe it's the time when you really look after your skin. I mean, in the past. I could have been bothered. I used to go
Mm-hmm.
to bed without even take my makeup off. But now,
Mm-hmm.
I do look after my skin, but not because of, oh my gosh, maybe I will have wrinkles here and there. No, just because I consider it as self-care. Yeah.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah, but even, I don't know about you, Wendy, but for instance, I think even your style should evolve, but not because now you are in your 50s and you can't wear the mini skirt. I do wear mini skirts. If you like it, if you look good, if you don't care about what other people say, you can wear a mini skirt too, but in a different way, maybe when you were in your 20s, you wanted to look sexy and daring. Now you want to be look as a confident person. So maybe you style that skirt of the jumper in a different way. I don't know. It's because you change inside, and so
Mm-hmm.
you change even the way you dress. I don't know. That's my opinion, personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think we still want to dress fashionably, and sometimes it's hard to find fashion for older women, although I think that's gotten better. um, because I think because we're not as concerned about where we're shopping. If we like it, we get it. And I don't think there's as much. And tell me if you see this in Europe, but I don't think there's as much judgment now when people look at an older woman wearing something very fashionable or a short skirt going, oh, wow, she's too old to wear something like that. I
No,
don't, I don't hear that as much. Do you?
no. Well, these days people have so many other problems to be focused on that you know I don't think that, I mean, unless you are just there for a chit chat and you're just waiting for the bus and you don't know what else to do.
Right, right.
Yeah. Actually, I really like when women of a certain age are a bit bold in their style. I think that's very cool. I mean, seeing them wearing maybe big glasses or daring leopard, I don't know, boot. I mean,
Boots, like I love wearing my boots with yeah,
yeah, I mean, playing a bit, with this. Why not? I like aging playfully. Let's age playfully. Come on.
aging playfully. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. So with that, leave us with a couple of tips for crunchy women in this next stage of our lives. Tell us how you see us aging playfully going forward.
So when I say aging playfully, I don't mean that you should let loose in the dance floor. I mean, aging playfully means that you don't forget that inner child, you know, that you keep nurturing that inner child, keep listening that voice, even if you think that it's over. It's not. I mean, because this little fire, it's the one that keep us going. It's something that help us to appreciate the beauty in and around us. So aging playfully means being probably a bit more relaxed, having time to press a pause and enjoying what we have. And also because when we press a pause, maybe we have time to look around, and we are not always in a rush. And so, oh, I didn't notice that, how beautiful it is, all
Mm,
these little thing. And have time for yourself, and keep discovering new things, keep learning,
mhm.
keep being passionate about
So important.
something. Yeah. So I
Right.
mean, crunchy taste doesn't sell any formula for success, any powerful cream for keep you young forever. Actually, the opposite. um, we just want to give readers some some ideas, some inspiration, and yeah, keep telling them that you're not done, you're not over the hill, not at all.
Yeah. No, I think that's beautiful. Take a pause, notice what's beautiful around you, keep
Yeah.
learning. All of those are wonderful takeaways. So thank you so much, Michaela. Let me let people know how to get in touch with you. There are several ways. First of all, there's the magazine, crunchytales.com. And like I showed you earlier, you can join crunchytales.com with /join -us. So everybody who's listening, go join Crunchy Tales. If you want to check out Michela herself, you can go to her website. It's Michela, Michela, DDI, Carlo.com. And you can also email her. She very graciously has let us share her email address. So that's Michela. It's Michela, right? Not Michela.
Michaela,
Michela. Michela at crunchytales.com. So thank you so much. This has really been fun.
thank you, Wendy. I really appreciate what you're doing, and thank you so much for this invitation. Let's
Oh,
keep trying to help each other, and
absolutely.
because I think that together we can do a lot of things.
We become crunchier.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I wish you,
So,
actually, to all of my American friends, I wish you a crunchy Thanksgiving. I
oh,
mean,
yeah. Oh, yes.
crunchy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving, because that means that you also will have a great food. I hope.
We will have great food for sure.
Yeah.
So before I let everybody go, I wanted to thank Philip for his comment on my blog, which was called Life is a Journey. He said, lots of good stuff in this blog. I believe that the process of writing it all and posting your blog will in itself help you. Remember, you are impacting lots of lives. You are making a difference. And my response to him was, thank you. Making a difference is a strong value of mine, as it is a strong value of Michaela's.
Yeah.
I love when I hear from you. So the comments, I've seen Susan comment and Wendy's commented on this podcast today. So thank you for that. I love your comments in the chat, on the blogs. All of that means a lot to me. And, email me or Michaela and let us know what today's episode meant to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So next week, my guest is Brenda Ackerman. I think Brenda writes for you,
Oh,
doesn't
she's
she?
amazing. Yeah, 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 yeah. She's one of our experts. Oh,
She's,
Brenda. She's
I know that's going to
our
be fun.
expert. Yeah, she wrote a wonderful book, And she's helping us to reframe this idea of midlife. Yeah.
Right. So her book is titled Aging Sucks, but You're Gonna Love It. And
Absolutely.
and that title definitely captured my attention. So I had to reach out to her. So she's going to be with us next Monday. So please
Fantastic.
join me for that and continue to embrace this time of your life with exploration, self-expression, and learning. And my
And
name is
crunchiness.
Wendy. And what? And
Crunch.
crunchiness. That's right. And my name is Wendy Green with Michela Di Carlo. And this has been Hey Boomer.